Okay, idiots did design this chapter, but for different reasons. I want to get to my rant now.
We'll get there.
Well, I say rant, but I have a few rants, like... What I was going to say, first of all, I feel this chapter as a whole, I get what they are trying... I get what they are trying to do with having the, like, appeal and other things, but this chapter as a whole, I feel like, is kind of inherently padding, and I feel like they should have shaved off maybe 2 or 3, like... fights in
you
it.
Also have and
because a lot of the things that they want you to do, it's normally very simple, like appeal or other things. We have another aspect of it, and like this isn't a petty meme. This is something that I think is actually a problem, but again, no one talks about this. Meanwhile, if a modern Paper Mario had a chapter like this, one, because it's a modern game, people would call
Renegade Team. The KP Koopas want you to avoid using any items. Real men don't need no trinkets.
Though this is actually really funny, because this lets me set up a lot of points. The thing Grubba asks you to do is actually semi-randomly generated.
Yeah.
Because it is semi-randomly generated, you can actually end up in certain small
they did not
dead game scenarios like this one out because they're Koopas, they can be knocked over, is actually a kind of good example of something like that creating a problem of if like now because there is a Paracoopa, this isn't going to affect him, but it's like you can just use the Quake Hammer to just
and knock over the other guys, but
they're KP Koopas, so gotta tattle.
KP Paracoopa, and then I'm gonna put him on the ground, and then we're gonna tattle the other guys. Booyah. Knocks him over. Ha! Ah, damn it. Okay, so I'll show what you were asking about. Quake.
Boom.
It flips Koopas.
Yeah. Now, like, when you end up with a, like, fight that you cannot win, first of all, something I will, like, a few things I will be fair about before I go on with the rant is, like, one, I can't remember...
See? No biggie.
One, I can't remember if you die in here in the fights. Is it
Hold on,
Is it actually a game
No,
over?
I will cover... Hold on. I can cover that in a minute. Because this game... Hold on. I can cover that faster than you. Could swing the other way next time, though. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Hold on. There is no death. Death causes you to lose and you go down a rank.
So to be fair...
And there is another contingency that's a little bit stupid. If you ignore the goal but win the battle, say he told me to not use items. If I used an item, because that went against Grubba, but I won, I would effectively hold that position and I could re-challenge them.
Yeah.
So if you absolutely feel like you need to, just win the battle with out the ignore the stipulation, win the battle, and sort of end up in a rank defense.
Because if you die or run, because that is something you can do, those are considered a forfeit and you do go down a rank. My point is, to be fair, you don't go back to your last save.
Yeah,
but I still recommend to save often, but you should always, when you have to do a lot of combat,
save often.
Row save often. Now on
rank 17. Poke triplets.
Oh, this is funny. This is actually, if we
want to avoid using your jump.
but they're spiky, so
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. But that leads to, and this was a chapter, this is a point I have been sitting on and have been wanting to make sort of since the start of this, and you talking about Sticker Star at the beginning, I think is actually very funny. And it's something that I do think is an actual problem, and it kind of does piss me off that people ignore, and the fact that
Hey, Pokey.
and the fact that you can sometimes, like, due to the way this chapter works, run into this, which I think is an actual problem. I think this game, now I will be fair and say it is not nearly as bad, but I think this game has the same problem everyone bitches about Sticker Star having, where if you do not have certain resources, be it either badges or certain items in your very limited inventory, there are certain enemies you are just fucked when fighting.
However, the caveat, and this is the problem with Sticker Star.
I said not as bad.
No, I can at least regular hammer these guys. In Sticker Star, I would use my hammer sticker, and that would be it.
Yes, but these, like, these enemies you can regular hammer. Those spiky enemies at, like, the beginning of the game, you had to use a POW block on. Because they're spiky on the top.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no jumping. It's probably best to just use a, either now this is where you whip out Earthquake, or you actually...
No. I can show a couple of mechanics. I didn't get to show the mechanic I want to do, but... So, well, I got to show one. I super guard, and I deflected his attack, and it hurt him. But you'll notice, because it deflected his body piece, it did, like, 3 damage.
Yeah.
Coop's shell...
We said Coops works like a Koopa. He naturally has 1 defense.
No. Well, yes, but in combat, Coop's shell, when he ducks in to himself, he could go through certain spiky enemies selectively. Like, he can actually blast through Pokies.
Because it's like a Koopa shell.
Now, the thing is, because I was doing bigger damage, it would have just came down to...
Yes, but also, again, a, like, funny thing, I think, as an example, and it was why I wanted to talk out this in this part. I said, well, I will be fair and say with this game, there is technically never a scenario where you can't damage anything at all. There are still other scenarios where it's like, yes, I can slowly technically fight this thing, but slowly fighting it is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, fighting them, basically, Quake Hammer, because that was a multi-hit, that was really good. It's like, if you didn't have Quake Hammer, and as, like, say a hypothetical, we actually got the not using any items on that fight would have been really slow and tedious, because Goombella and Flurry, that's also another thing, is enemies in here are vulnerable to Flurry's Gale Force, though it's, again, one of those, depending on what you get, you might not always be able to do that. So, to be fair, if you are in a scenario where that is literally, like, your only option, you technically can 16,
the Dead Bones. Avoid using any of them special moves.
That's the Crystal Star stuff.
I was going to comment on that, because I've seen people get confused. Special means Crystal Stars, not FP.
Yes, but, like as an example with the, like, Pokies, and this is why I think this is more of a problem in this game than people kind of sort of want to admit. It's like, if you had guided the ability to not use items, your only partner would have been Coops, and the only way to damage them would have been either single, target was the hammer, or things like Quake Hammer, but that's constantly...
We're going to take the skin off your bones!
So you, like... So we can't reference a bloody murder, but we can reference that. Okay, Nintendo localization.
It's time for a death battle! Bonk. He said no specials.
No.
That wasn't special. Now, what? Hold on. To kind of explain the rules, because certain people got confused on the wording, specials literally mean the star powers.
Don't you go over that icon in your
It says special, yes. FP is FP. If he says no FP, that would mean no Quake Hammer.
Yeah.
I can agree with what you were... Oh, it hurts. Well, yeah. My foot. You're fine, just shut up. Fly presser right there. Ouch. Do we have a gag, maybe?
Well, rather lazy of them to not show it.
Going back to my point. With Stiggerstar versus this game, I get your point, and there's truth to that. I'm not going to deny that. But the biggest takeaway, at least...
Oh, like I said, in a scenario like this, like, let's say you got the ability to not use any, like, items against the Pokies, and you, like, were out of FP or didn't have, like, Quake Hammer or whatever, you could still, with Coop's basic attack and the hammer, you could still slowly fight those enemies. It's just because Pokies can spawn other Pokies that could potentially take a fucking while. Now,
15. Spike Storm.
This is one of the other ones.
Let your enemy damage you 3 times.
Because it's Spike Storm. Is this those, like, bristle enemies from the start of the game, or is this Spike Tops?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah!
Oh no, it's Lakitu. We're gonna have to waste time to tattle anyway. So.
Spiking to submission. Because we also have to tattle the Spinies.
No. Though, again, that's really funny that he has the Thunder Rage and we can't...
Hold on. Tattle.
Though,
I believe, like all Koopas, I just want to make sure of something.
I was going to say I'm pretty sure they should.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do instantly flip back over, though.
That's one. Like, because it should count as one.
I think that counts as one.
So, you could kill the guy with the Thunder Rage.
Oh, yeah, no. Ah! Counter who?
You need to not counter.
Yeah. It's a rock. Alright. Hold on, I do need to tattle you. The key to... Yeah, HP is 5. Yeah.
Hey, when they do that,
they're
completely invincible. I forgot about that. That might count. I'm honestly not sure. Because it was just to let you get hit 3 times. Goombella got hit once, and then that actually did 2, 3. So I think
that might count. Okay. I actually do want to figure that out. I think that might be 3. If not...
Hey, you have your, like, 80% dodge rate, so if that doesn't count, all of this, well, as Goombella serves as a fucking meat shield.
Hold on. We're gonna do this the smart way. I think items count. And I can show the one thing, because they flip over mid-turn. So, she can do this. It does drop their defense, they just flip back over.
you know.
We'll see. Because I think she got hit once, and I think it is 2-3.
Well, technically, because of after taking out the key too, she got hit twice.
Yeah.
Where's your fight, money?
Yes, bros.
Okay.
Okay, items count. Good. I actually couldn't remember that. It's fine.
Because again, that's one of those RNG things that's not always going to be
To
there.
be there, yes.
Hmm.
And I got my titles. Which is the more important part.
Yes. God, look at that frame rate.
Out of the way, idiots. No, bad. It's a very bad behavior, Toffag.
No.
Bad. Come back. Help! My imported egg escaped. Somebody catch it.
So that's a pig running a hot dog stand. That's so fucked up. I love it.
I think you do this. No, yeah, that was it. It was a little bit off. If you...
Most awful.
Z. If you want to be a little bit faster, you stand where I was and it kind of just jumps into you. But... grab the egg. Hey, buddy.
Huh?
You hear that? Little eggy waggy. He's adorable. What should we do? Hello, the little guy.
Let there be a hot dog. Also, who puts eggs on a hot dog?
Mr. Hot Dog's name guy.
Yeah.
Fine. Most people don't like eating stuff that jumps all over the place anyway. Awesome, eggy way. You're free. See you around. Yeah. No, jumping eggs bug me. Let there be hot dogs! Okay, egg acquired. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, what is your overall opinion on the way that they handled Grubba's special battle stipulations? Overall, I do agree with Carson a little bit, but on the other hand, I do think Carson was being a little bit mean and creating his own false narrative, which is funny because Carson gives other people crap for creating a false narrative, and yet he's doing the same thing. While it is technically possible to get a stipulation that makes a fight unwinnable, it's not like the stipulations are 100% set in stone. And if it really comes down to it, you can always run from a fight to effectively lose the fight and basically reset it, or you could beat the fight without the stipulation to essentially hold your place, because you will not rank up unless you complete the stipulation, but nothing stops you from winning the fight and ignoring what Grubba said you needed to do, meaning you will have multiple outs. It's not like you ever end up in a dead game. However, I will agree that it is a bit stupid that RNG can basically give you a technically unwinnable scenario, which is incredibly dumb, because that does mean if you're unlucky, you need to waste a lot of extra time to basically get out of a scenario you literally can't win, meaning you would need to run or win the battle without doing that stipulation, which is a waste of time. But Carson was acting like it's far worse than it actually is, which once again is funny because he gives other people crap for doing that exact thing, and yet he's doing that because he feels like he's justified in trying to tear down Thousand Year Door by nitpicking it, while also giving other people crap for doing the same thing with other games. And I know he's partly doing it for a bit, but I feel like he is being incredibly hypocritical, and he's more or less acting like Ego Raptor in a lot of cases, which is funny because he always gives me crap if I'm acting like Ego Raptor, and yet, because of his own hatred for Thousand Year Door, where he feels like the game needs to be brought down a peg or two, he can basically be hypocritical and tear the game apart without actually being completely honest, which basically means he's acting like Ego Raptor, but Thousand Year Door deserves it, but I'm getting way off topic. Overall, I think Grubba's battle stipulations are not that bad, but it is stupid that you can technically end up in a somewhat unwinnable situation, or technically a completely unwinnable situation, which will force you to waste a lot of time in order to basically get out of that battle and then get a stipulation that will actually let you advance up a rank anyway. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.